It's the 1960s, and your little bundle of joy is crying like a tiny diva demanding their next meal. What are your parents feeding you? None of that artisanal avocado toast nonsense.
Congrats on your new home, guys.
Oh my goodness, this is so great. We should celebrate.
With avocado toast.
Welcome to Flashback Foods, where we revisit the quirky, nostalgic, and sometimes downright strange dishes from the past.
Interesting.
Today's focus: vintage baby foods, a fascinating and sometimes hilarious look into what parents were spoon-feeding their little bundles of joy decades ago.
How is it?
Good.
It looks like you're enjoying yourself.
From nutrient-packed liver puree to chocolate pudding that doubled as a baby treat, the baby food game has changed a lot over the years. Back then, baby food wasn't just about mashed peas and carrots. There were options that would seem downright strange by today's standards, like meat-based custard and chewing gum for babies. It's hard to imagine today's parents serving up a jar of beef liver puree with the same confidence, but back then it was considered a powerhouse of nutrition. We're going to explore the weird and wonderful foods that kept babies fed and full in the 1940s, 50s, and beyond. Whether you're here for the laughs or the nostalgia, this video will take you on a journey back to the days when baby food came in some very unexpected flavors. So sit back, grab a snack, preferably not liver puree, and let's dive into some seriously retro baby food. 1. Beachnut's Liver Baby Food, USA, UK. Beachnut's Liver Baby Food was the golden child of baby nutrition in the 1950s. Back when liver was hailed as a superfood, Beachnut thought, why not make babies love it too?
Yummy.
So they boiled liver, mashed it into a smooth, slightly horrifying paste, and jarred it up for the tiniest consumers. It was marketed as a powerhouse of iron, protein, and vitamins, because if there's one thing babies need, it's nutrient-packed meat puree that smells like, well, liver. Why was it famous? Parents were told this would make their babies healthy and strong, as liver was believed to offer all the essential nutrients. It was considered a premium baby food, promising to nourish little ones during their crucial growing years. And while all that may be true even now, back then, health benefits trumped flavor. So even if it tasted like gym socks, moms and dads didn't mind as long as it was packed with goodness.
We do not care.
Beachnut has been around since the 1930s, and liver baby food became a key product in their lineup during the mid-20th century. But let's be honest, no baby was doing a happy dance over liver puree. It was probably one of those here comes the airplane moments where the plane crash landed on a disgusted baby's bib. Still, it had a lasting legacy as a nutritious choice in the early days of prepackaged baby foods. 2. Hines Chocolate Pudding Baby Food, USA, UK, and Australia. Now, if Beachnut's liver puree was a struggle for babies, Heinz's chocolate pudding baby food was the reward. Introduced in the 1940s, this sweet treat brought a little dessert into the world of baby food, giving parents a much-needed break from spoon-feeding those less exciting purees. Made from a simple recipe of cocoa, milk, sugar, and thickeners, it was one of the few baby foods that didn't taste like something only a parent could love. Why was it famous? Well, let's just say that anything involving chocolate tends to gain popularity. Parents were already fans of Heinz for their savory baby foods, so when they brought chocolate pudding into the mix, it was like adding a cherry on top. It became a special treat in the baby food aisle, and if we're being honest, we're pretty sure a few parents snuck a spoonful or two for themselves.
It was delicious.
Though it might raise a few eyebrows today, chocolate pudding for babies was seen as a harmless indulgence back then. Heinz had been a household name for its wide range of food products, and this dessert became a quick favorite thanks to its rich, creamy texture and kid-friendly taste. It's not around anymore, but the memory of Heinz's chocolate pudding still brings a nostalgic smile to the faces of those who grew up in the era where baby food wasn't all about mashed peas and carrots. A win for babies and dessert-loving parents alike. 3. Gerbers Spinach and Beef, USA, Canada, and UK. Gerber. The baby food giant that was, and still is, a staple in so many pantries. But back in the mid-20th century, Gerber's Spinach and Beef was something of a star. This jar of green mush packed a punch of protein and vitamins, giving babies a hefty dose of iron from the beef and the supposed superpowers of spinach, which was riding high thanks to Popeye's popularity at the time.
This'll stop
them insect vultures.
Made by blending cooked beef and spinach into a fine puree, it wasn't exactly the most appetizing dish by modern standards, but it was seen as the perfect way to get babies started on meat and veggies. Gerber marketed it as both nutritious and convenient for parents, a ready-to-serve option that made meal prep a breeze. Spinach and beef was famous because it fit the feed your baby like a little adult mentality of the time. Parents wanted their babies to grow strong, and what better way to do that than with two powerhouse ingredients? Plus, during post-World War II America, convenience foods were on the rise, and Gerber's easy-to-use jars were exactly what busy moms and dads needed. Though the texture might have been questionable, Gerber's spinach and beef lived in the hearts of parents who trusted the brand with their child's nutrition. While you'll see variations of it today, this Gerber one-of-a-kind is a perfect snapshot of vintage baby food and the trends that shaped it. 4. MeatBased Custard, USA. In the 1940s and 50s, parents were serving up some truly unique baby food. MeatBased custard. Think of this as a mashup between savory meats and the creamy consistency of a dessert custard. Popular varieties included liver, chicken, and beef, all pureed to a silky texture that today might make us scratch our heads. But at the time, it was marketed as a nutrient-packed meal full of iron and protein, ideal for growing babies. The idea behind it was that the smooth, custard-like consistency would make the protein-rich meat easier for babies to swallow and digest, providing essential nutrients during crucial growth periods. Meat was hailed as a powerhouse food, and the logic followed that babies should get their fair share of protein-packed goodness too.
Peter, it's time for a healthy veggie dinner.
Parents were eager to boost their baby's health with these jars of custard, believing that the protein and iron would give their little ones the strength to grow up healthy and strong. While modern parents might balk at the idea of blending meat into something custard-like, the smooth texture was thought to be ideal for sensitive young stomachs. Plus, it was convenient, a jarred, ready-to-eat option that saved time in the kitchen during the post-war era when convenience foods were on the rise. Despite the nutrition, though, one can imagine the confused looks from babies experiencing the first spoonful of creamy meat puree.
What is this?
While it's no longer around today, meat-based custard remains a quirky relic of the baby food industry, reflecting a time when convenience and nutrition ruled over flavor preferences. Today, it's likely one of those foods that we look back on and think, they really fed this to babies. 5. Beachnut Chewing Gum for Babies, USA. Yes, you read that right. Beachnut once made baby chewing gum back in the early 1900s. The idea behind it was a bit wild by today's standards, but it was created as a solution for teething babies. Imagine tiny tots chewing gum to soothe their sore gums, a far cry from today's teethers. Marketed as a gentle way to ease the pain of teething, this gum was sugar-free and soft, designed to help babies get used to chewing. Parents were drawn to it because it offered a two-in-one solution. It kept babies calm while giving their gum something to work on. Plus, babies weren't as likely to choke on it, as it was softer than the typical chewing gum for adults. But as you might guess, handing babies gum wasn't the most practical idea, and the product didn't last long on the market. Between sticky messes and parents having to pry gum from baby teeth, the fad quickly faded. Still, it's a quirky relic of the early baby food market, proving that parents were willing to try just about anything to soothe a teething baby back in the day. It's definitely one of those wait, what moments in baby food history that has us chuckling and thankful for modern teething solutions. So, did you enjoy taking a stroll down memory lane with these vintage baby foods? Comment below with your favorite childhood food memories, or let us know which flashback foods you want us to cover next. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for our next video.